Hello, Professor Kohler and MCBS family. Jeremy Bork here, and this is my self-evaluation for this Aesthetics and Theory of Communications class. I've got my notes over here, so I'm just going to plug right along here and try to answer these questions the best I can using the RISE model. I've had some practice on this, of course. Okay, so how did my attitude, logic, and behaviors influence my projects? I have to start with a little background first. In general, I deal with quite a bit of internal career and lifestyle conflict. I've worked in a traditional technical career for the government for over 20 years. Having lived a life in our modern system of constant consumer grind, I've seen how much we struggle to have consistency on connecting with each other, and I think that we fail miserably to be more sustainable and live in harmony with the natural world around us. So this has caused me to develop a firsthand pessimistic attitude that change is unlikely. So here I am, trying to change my life around. I'm trying to live on a path that'll help me try to find ways to make a living by being more connected with the people around us, but also spreading a message that we need to change rather than to live the status quo. So how does this all relate to the last projects that I've worked on? I would say that the visual mission statement and visual design and composition sections would be great examples of how I'm influenced. They all hold the same theme of ethical living and connection, something that I'm striving for. And I want to continue to add an influence of social connection and bridging the gap of technology with sustainable living and help build a better foundation that I can grow from. And I think these projects are just a sliver of practice towards that focus. So, okay. As I started working on my projects, what resources that helped me learn more about something I was working on? To try to get the right color vibe, I found that even stock image subscriptions, finding just the right color is almost as difficult as finding the right background music to fit a presentation. Mastering color space while using Adobe Illustrator led me on a path to YouTube, of course, where there's just a plethora of info. I found out how to adjust the contrast and hue of one image to better fit that of another to better match up. And I think that as that technology continues to advance, it's actually pretty cool because it can really trim down on the editing time that the creator will spend. And it allows you to basically be more creative, So I've also used Pinterest and Google to get a better visual indication if there were any current trends in design that matched my focus for the projects for the month. And the duck project would be a good example of that because it let my personality show a little bit, and I thought I could actually be funny, maybe. Okay, if I had more time, what could I have done differently to improve my projects? We always want more time. And if I had more time, I would have worked to learn some more ways to add some visual depth to the images that I worked on, particularly the visual design and composition project. I think that adding a little bit more depth and adds unique character and helps establish visual hierarchy. I'm not good enough with art to use focus lines to create that depth, so I feel more time would have helped allow me to achieve that goal. Aesthetically, I feel three-dimensional visuals within an image would make it stand out a little bit better from a traditional poster. I think one other area that I would have focused on would be to find more images of myself to better match up with some of the story that was in the poster itself to help better describe the activities that were taking place. But overall, I think I did pretty good on it. I was pretty happy with how everything turned out. How does my new understanding of aesthetic principles support my professional objectives? How will I use this in my career? So I know that I'm going to look at color theory quite a bit different going forward. You know, it's been more than 30 years since my last art class, and I was not aware of how to match up color selections to help emphasize imagery or enhance moods. You know, I just kind of was overwhelmed by how much information there really was on the subject, so I know it's going to be an area that I'm going to have to revisit again. Professionally, I'm still trying to figure out my core focus, and I think for me at least, it may be a little different as I'm starting this leg of my journey, like some of you already with another career under my belt. So I feel that finding ways to bring more of my experience into the field will help influence to narrow things down a little bit and get some more focus and be more acute on who I want to work with as well as what I want to offer. So with all that said, I want to thank you very much for the feedback that you've provided in this course. I pick up so much along the way, and I know that every little bit will help as I continue to shape my path going forward. You know, motto that myself and a few of my friends have worked on for this nonprofit that we're building helps bring clarity to what we all learn along the way. Mainly, it alludes to how life is not where we end up when we have success or failure, but in the experiences that we have along the way. The path is the destination. Thanks for a fantastic class. On to the next one.